Alright, good morning folks. It is day one of the Green River trip, which is going to be here in just a second. We're heading out to go get some breakfast first, and then we're going to head down to the river, and we're going to have a good time. 6 days and 5 nights. Pretty excited about it. It's going to be awesome. Okay, we're pulling up to Texas Riverways, where we are going to get ready to start packing to go do stuff here. Look at this awesome place. I think we're in the right place. It's gonna be awesome. Everybody's prepping, getting ready to go. All right, guys, we are here early morning. We're getting ready to go. As you can see, the folks are back here getting the stuff ready to go. We're gonna unload this truck here, and it's gonna be going into a trailer here in a little bit. So getting closer and closer to the Green River every moment. So it's gonna be great. All right, Matt and I are getting the truck unloaded here and getting ready. It's another awesome year, man.
Yes, sir.
Are you excited to be here again? There you are.
Do this again, absolutely.
All right, we're gonna continue getting this truck unloaded and getting things going. So this is the gear that's going with our group of 8. That stuff right there, all this stuff right here, some more stuff in the back of the truck, and then one more pile over here. So we got 4 boats, 8 people, and a whole bunch of gear. It's gonna be awesome. When you canoe and camp, you can bring extra items and really make it a comfortable experience. It was really nice because the canoe carries most of the weight. That is, until you have to load or unload it all, but that's another story altogether. Here's the trailer and the van that will take us and our gear to the Green River at Ruby Ranch. There was a lot of excitement in the air. Alright, so the loading of the gear has begun. You can see we slowly but surely getting this thing filled up. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, it's like playing a game of Tetris, except not as fast. The outfitter finished tying down the canoes while we gathered in front of the building for further instructions. Alright, we're all here getting ready to do our thing. The group listened as the outfitter explained several things about the adventure that we were about to begin. He shared some written information with Terry, our trip leader. The outfitter explained that there would be several pickup days available, just in case there was an emergency and we had to leave early. The outfitter also went over the finer points of the chemical toilet with us, as we listened intently.
Well, pressure relief valve. You notice my face is over here. It's not like right here. Because of condensation, there will be a little bit of that water and enzyme meter that can spray out that pressure relief valve. So,
and then there was time for one more picture. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And today's adventure will begin with a single paddle. Alright, here we are. We're in the van heading down to what was formerly known as Ruby Ranch, but still goes by the name, right?
Still goes by the name.
yeah, it'll always be.
I think we've all been smiling all morning. Our face is starting to hurt a little bit.
Yep.
So
Excited.
Yep, it's going to be great.
Good new stuff.
Yep, and it's a beautiful day out. All right, folks, we made it to Ruby Ranch. We're going to be unloading the trailer here just a little bit and getting the boats in the water. So probably in the next half hour, we'll be up and ready to go. After we arrived at the Ruby Ranch drop-off point, we all started to unload the van and the trailer. It was a nice group effort and everything went very well. Canoes were starting to come off the trailer, folks were prepping to go, while the rest of the gear was also being brought down to the river. And there it is, the Green River in Utah. 6 days and 5 nights, 8 friends, 4 canoes, and a whole bunch of gear. All right, we're bringing the gear down here in a little bit. It'll start getting loaded in the canoes, and then we're gonna head downstream. Looking forward to it. Comes some more of the gear right now. Gear and canoes are coming together. It's gonna be awesome. All right, we're getting there. You can see we're pretty loaded up here.
Okay, toss in a couple extra gallons of water there.
Awesome, thank you, sir.
Okay, there's an empty spot for it. You gotta get it in somewhere.
The rest of the boats are getting really close as well. It's gonna be awesome.
A quick group photo before we launch. Matt, the Southwest backpacker, was the first to sit in the canoe on the water, and he was super excited.
All right, folks, we are on the water, Green River. You can see all our gear here in the middle. I will say it's taken us a couple minutes to adapt to the load. It's the heaviest canoe I've ever been in. The canoe's not heavy, but the gear added up together is. And it's a beautiful day. Nice day out here, and we'll catch up with the rest of our folks here in just a little bit. All right, breathing a sigh of relief already. All right, folks, I don't know how far down the river we've gone. I'm probably assuming about a mile or so, but it's already starting to change from this sort of bosque look on the right to these canyon walls on the left. And it's just gonna get bigger and more beautiful as we go here on the beautiful Green River. Pretty awesome. All right, there's some of our partners in crime on this trip. I think the other boat's back there a little ways, so we have 4 boats total, 8 people. A lot of beautiful rock, and Daniel is aiming us for some shade over here on the left-hand side. And I'll start paddling here in a second too, I promise. I can't help myself though, I have to film everything. It's beautiful.
I wish I would have brought binoculars.
Hey Daniel, what do you think, brother?
Kick ass, man. You cannot beat the feelings. It's like being high and then high and then high.
Oh yeah, look at those walls. Is that a bird of prey? Ooh, I think that's a pterodactyl, actually. Oh. My mistake. All right, folks, check this out. I mean, I've been saying this all day, but my face is hurting from smiling so much. It's just a beautiful place out here, a beautiful day. The sound of the water against the rock wall there is cool. Enjoying the moment here. This is beautiful. And that breeze feels so good. It's a good sign to see an eagle. That sky, man, isn't that awesome? Ooh, that tree growing out of the rock, that's kind of neat. Yeah, the big one and the small one, they're both kind of neat, like Lord of the Rings looking.
Matt and Terry asked us to float up next to their canoe. They had a map book they wanted to share with us.
All right, guys, thanks. These guys, they just gave me this cool book to look at here. I'll show you a little bit later when we get to camp, but it represents the river and all the little things that you can see along the way. So we're on page 23 is where we're located right now, but I'll show it to y'all a little bit later. It should be a lot of fun. And obviously we're not going to do what these guys are doing on the cover of the book, which is dumping their canoe. Yeah, we caught up with everybody here, chilling and like a villain. All right, looking good, guys. It's amazing how smooth these shots are on the boat.
That's fantastic. That's how I was able to get some of those smooth shots.
Trent Alcove was the campsite we hoped for, but unfortunately it was taken when we arrived. After the last of our party arrived, we agreed we needed to look for a different campsite. We decided to push on down the river and continue our journey into paradise. The way I had it figured, there's no bad campsites here. We continued down the river with wonder in our eyes and the possibility of a campsite around every bend. We stopped again a short time later, and Matt explored to see if there was a campsite available.
Well,
Yeah, looks pretty choked out.
nothing over on this other side either.
Couldn't even get in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Means we continue to move on, see what else we can find.
that's exactly what that means.
right.
Unfortunately.
Here comes the Southwest Backpacker.
22 miles, we're almost there.
Yeah, look at the intensity of the sky against that red rock. It's just so... It looks like a painting everywhere we look. Well, this certainly is a big area we could camp out over here, but we're going to be in the sun for a while, that's for sure. But like they said, they have tarps, so we'll get some tarps set up, we'll have some shade, it'll be awesome! Okay, let me get to paddling here so I can get us helping. All right, after canoeing for a few miles, we found a pretty nice spot here. It's gonna be sweet. You can see all 4 boats are lined up, and we're gonna be pulling gear off the boats here in a few minutes and setting up back here somewhere. What an awesome spot. This day has just been so perfect so far, and now we're gonna have this beautiful area here where we can set up a camp and just really thoroughly enjoy a nice relaxing afternoon and evening. So
We unloaded the canoes through the magic of time lapse.
okay, mostly empty canoe. Everybody else is a pretty good spot as well. And then we got a bunch of gear over here that came out of our boat that we'll be heading back down to camp here in just a little bit. And back there, you see some of the people right back there. That's where camp's gonna be for the night. So stay tuned and I'll show you as much as I can. Look at this guy carrying stuff like a pro. And that purple one's the heaviest one though, isn't it?
Everyone pitched in and moved the gear from the canoes to base camp. The weather was perfect and we barely broke a sweat. Folks fine-tuned and removed the last gear from their canoes. In no time we were unloaded and felt we deserved a break. We all grabbed our chairs and headed down the sandy beach next to the river for a hangout session. Nothing beats a nice day, good friends, a beautiful location, and great conversation.
All right, so we're here taking a little break. We found a nice camp spot in Southwest Backpacker. What do you think about the first day so far?
So far, so good. We got some good timing this morning, and we managed to get past Trent Alcove. It was taken, but we might be maybe a mile or less from that area. We got this wonderful beach spot right here, so I can't complain. I'm loving it.
All right, it's looking pretty awesome. Terry, any thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of the first time that we've ever been pushed out and haven't been able to make Trent Alcove. So part of me wants to be bummed, but this is amazing. And the temperature, oh, the temperature's perfect. So we're outside in the sun right now, but it's
And we're
not,
not suffering.
baking,
It's not oppressive.
painful. Yeah, it feels great. And this is going to be a good campsite.
All right. Daniel, any thoughts on your first time being here?
Purple Martians.
Martians.
All right, that's perfect. I love it.
Like in the sun.
It's
What
awesome,
was that
guys.
all about,
Really,
you
really
know?
loving it.
We have only
They're not sure about us, dude.
Yeah.
There's a bigger one up there. He's good size, actually.
Yeah, this one's, he's playing dead or he's just soaking up the sun.
Playing good.
He's playing possum.
Well, he's a big one, man. He must be the Godzilla of them. His face looks crooked as fuck.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Holy cow, dude. That's like, we've seen at least a dozen of them already, I bet.
And they're still everywhere, man. There's one down here now.
Alright, we found a spot where the tents can go. Daniel's getting his gear pulled out and ready to go. Mine's right here. And it's gonna go up over here somewhere, I think. So that'll be my tent here in a minute, and then it'll be this view. Can't wait to wake up in the morning and look out the front door and see that. Alright, folks. It's a few minutes later, and here you can see the tents are up and ready to go. I gotta get my sleeping bag in there still, but that's coming soon. You know, for the regular viewer on my channel, you guys know who the Southwest Backpacker is because he's been in a few of the videos. He's right here today with us, setting up his camp for the night. So what are you planning on doing? I don't see a tent.
Don't have a tent with me. I brought a tent with me, but we've got a wonderful week planned ahead, and there's no chance that we saw of any rain. So I like to sleep underneath the stars out here in the desert. It's a risk that you kind of take. You know, things can get on you when you're out here versus a tent where you're kind of enclosed. But anytime I've done it out here, I've never had anything jump on me or bite me or anything like that. So I'm gonna take the risk again and try to do it for 5 nights in a row out here. So I got a piece of plastic underneath here and my camp pad on top of that, and I'll put my sleeping bag on top of that, and we'll call that good. And I'll have this beautiful sky that I can look at tonight with all the stars and constellations, and should be able to see the Milky Way really good out here because we're out here in the middle of the desert and away from all the residual city lights. So yeah, it should be really awesome and epic this evening. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt, so much. I appreciate it. I opted to go for the tent today. There's my tent's on the left over there, the gray one, and the green one is my brother's. But we're gonna possibly later in the trip sleep under the stars as well. I've been wanting to do that, and I'm excited. I hope I can film the stars or get some pictures. I watched some tutorials. We'll see if we can do it on camera later, though.
You guys get at least one night under the stars. You'll love it.
All right, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
All right, so it's getting later in the day. You can see all our canoes are here on the shoreline from earlier. They're all unloaded and ready to be reloaded tomorrow morning and continuing the journey. My brother Daniel and I, we got our tent set up here. Beautiful spot. Can't really complain. I mean, just look at that. How nice of a spot can you even picture or dream of? That just blows my mind. I love it. Okay, well, while I'm over here, we are going to check out the tents that I was just talking about. Daniel's got this cool green one here. I got the gray one over there. Let's go take a look inside. First, there's this cool walking stick my brother carved. He's still working on it, but he's done a lot of cool artwork on it. It's really sweet. And then his tent right here, it's really cool. It's a little, like, one-person tent. You can see his sleeping bag and pillow in there. It's got this cool little rain fly on it. He's ready for anything. And then mine's right over here. A little bit bigger, but equally as useful. And I always have a little front porch area. Take off my boots and stuff. And then my inner dwelling. 2 little air mattresses, sleeping bag, and pillow. I'm good to go. Alright, folks, it's getting later in the day. It's almost 5 p.m. on the first day. Everybody's set up with the tents, and about an hour we're going to do dinner. We're going to do my famous Frito pie tonight. I don't know if it's famous, but it's going to be a Frito pie. And I'll show you some shots of it as we make it and the end result, what everybody thinks. Now, quick side note, I decided to bring some musical instruments with me on this. I brought a flute, just right here. A friend of mine made this, and I bought it for $20, and we'll get to this a little bit later, but that's one of the instruments that I brought. And my buddy Eddie loaned me this guitar. Actually, he's thinking about selling it to me. I might buy it. It's a nice little small acoustic guitar. And the reason for bringing these on a river trip of all things is I thought I'm going to make YouTube videos out of this, obviously, and why not write some music while I'm here that reflects what I'm seeing at the moment and then use that in the soundtrack later. So I'm going to jam out for a little bit, see what we got here, and see if I can come up with something for what I'm looking at this exact moment. So this is what I'm seeing at this exact moment. So jam out a little bit and see what happens. Not a bad view out my tent. No, not at all. Very beautiful.
Purple Martians.
Oh, hey there, folks. I didn't see you. Anyway, here, welcome to the Green River, Day 1, 2019. And behind me, you can see there's a plethora of kitchen supplies and foods. We're going to make some Frito pie here in a bit. So I like black beans and pinto beans to go in that. That's a good start right there. Of course, tomato sauce helps balance it out and make it not too dry. I got 2 cans of this just in case, but it probably only needs 1. And what is Frito pie but without Hatch green chilies? You gotta have this, otherwise it's not officially Frito pie. Now I got regular Fritos for the pie itself, but you know, in the theme of Fritos, had to get the scoops and the bean dip. So let's start that before we even get the meal going. One of my favorite things from childhood all the way till I'm as old as I am now. Thumbs up. Time to get to work. Yeah. All right, the base for any Frito pie is your meat. This is actually ground turkey and ground beef pre-cooked at home. And I'm going to start putting other ingredients in just a minute. Just want to get this nice and hot and steamy, and we'll move on to other things. First, get some beans going in here of the pinto variety. Get that kind of mixed up just a tiny bit. Now let's get our other beans. And I think the juice and all really helps too, because it's a lot of meat to put in there. So. Good old-fashioned black beans. Alright, let's get that stirred up. Okay, next little piece going in here. Said I brought 2 of these just in case. We'll see if one's enough. I mean, that is a lot of beans and meat right there. So, alright, it's starting to look like something, but there's something missing. We need some Hatch green chili. And I have a feeling this little can is not enough. I should have got a big can, but lesson learned. We'll get more next time. Smell that green chili. It smells awesome. There you go. Operation Frito pie. Looks like a success. We'll get some feedback here in a minute once people start chowing down. You know, I know it's a weird concept. Some folks haven't heard of a Frito pie probably, and it's whatever kind of meat and bean substitute or building thing you want to make here on the stove. Okay, so we're going to start building one. The base is obviously Fritos, and then we're going to scoop a bunch of this stuff on top, so just give me a second. I'll take a minute. Nice big scoop of this. Put it right on top of the Fritos. Spread it out a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. There's plenty here. It's kind of similar to cowboy beans, but it's got its differences too. Okay. Then you bring it over to the cheese table without tripping over stuff, of course. And we sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top. So that is your basic Frito pie right there. Very simple, but fun to eat and very tasty and filling too.
Not bad, dude.
After that very yummy dinner, and night crept in slowly, we decided to partake in the evening ritual of the campfire experience. It was a chilly evening outside, but the campfire made for a warm and inviting place for the last couple of hours of day one. The moon slowly came up, and the stars were amazing. What a beautiful campsite, and a great first day on the Green River. The evening was very peaceful, and I felt the need to get some sleep. So, it was off to the tent for a little shut-eye.
Alright folks, that finishes the first day. It's going on about 9:45 here in Utah. Had an absolutely wonderful, great time paddling down the river on the first day of our 6-day adventure. And we're going to wrap it up here, but as usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other. See you tomorrow.
Purple Martians.